Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everything's okay. Got a little bit of lip lip in this video, but that's all right. You know, that was self-inflicted. Don't drink hot and then go outside and cold. That's all I can say. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be giving you an update of job interview tips, maybe if I remember. But basically, let's just talk about the job market. That's what I'm going to cover in this video. That's what I mainly cover, and how to get into tech, how not to get into tech, what to do, where to go, who knows. So what I found in December of last year was is that there was a quick pickup in basically in job interviews and everything sort, and it seems that though companies are trying to grab candidates at last point. And I think basically what it was is that because they know that when it came to January of the new year, 2024, this year, what will happen is that there will be a quick pace to be able to tie off loose ends, like upgrades, migrations, um, filling in for people who've gone off sick, paternity, maternity, all those sort of things. So that's basically what I just saw in December. In January, very interesting. So what I'm seeing in January is a slow pickup into jobs. There's a lot of posts for jobs, but I think the market is at a indecision at the moment. So what I mean by that is that companies don't really know what to pay a candidate, whether it's permanent or contract. And what will happen is that the role will be available, but what it is that they also want to attract the right candidate for the role, but they want more for their money. So what I'm seeing is that on average, £70,000, £80,000 for a permanent role for someone who's going to be like a senior engineer. I suppose into 2021, 2022, those jobs are flying off the shelf at 100,000, right? And what I'm seeing is that at 70, £80,000 that they're offering at the moment, their expectation of responsibilities is a lot higher than what it was before. So you may be paying less, but your expectations more. They expect you to perform more. They also expect you to bring more to the table around this time. What I mean by that is that do you have, um, coding skills, server skills? Do you understand networking skills? Do you understand back-end development skills? They're asking a whole ton of stuff. And what's really interesting is the request for certifications is even more. So, on why? Well, they're asking for more certificates than before. Reason being is because it's easier for HR or the manager to make a quick decision as to say, right, here are two candidates that offer the same skill set, but one's got, this thing that's completely different about them, or they bring this other advantage, and that is they have a qualification that basically gives me more reason to believe that they could deliver the role, that they've gone through the training themselves or they have the right training and they therefore don't have to pay to get to train those people. And that's what I'm seeing in the job market. So it's a tough old gig. So where do you stand? Okay, so if you're now starting in cloud, what I will say is that it's going to be harder for you to compete than it was before. Reason being is because you've got so many people who've been made redundant over the last 3 to 6 months, and there's more redundancies coming. You're not hearing it in the market as much, but if you watch the news properly, or if you're actually, have a tight circle in companies who are out there that usually hire, but they're now letting go and stuff like that, you'll see there's a lot more staff being released into the wild, if I could just put it that way, basically being made redundant, guys. So yeah, if you're now starting in cloud, what I say is that get your qualifications underneath your belt. If you were expecting to be having a starting salary of 40 to 50 grand, there's a possibility that that's not going to be the case. You may have to start at 30. Uh, what else? If you were thinking about going to a popular company, what's a popular company? I don't know. Name something, a financial something. That may not be the case either. You may have to go to something a little bit low key, a manufacturing company local to you, those kind of things. Remote may be able to get you somewhere, how you say, somewhere a little bit more interesting and stuff like that. But then when it comes to remote, and if you're new to cloud, you'll probably find it a little bit disjointed, lost. You don't feel as though that you're connected to the team that much because you don't want to seem like a pain when it comes to asking for certain things that the other team members may find as basic. So you need to make sure that you find yourself in a company who's willing to help you along the lines, but you also got to help yourself. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's a tough market. Um, Outside R35 contracts seem to be drying up. It's a few and far between. So, if you are in a situation where you're carefully selecting your jobs and doing a fine job, then you should be okay. But let me just share my screen so I can show you what I'm seeing. So just share the screen. Yeah, I use Zoom, but so let's take a look at the market. I use JobServe, very popular and stuff like that. There's IT Job Watch. There's CV jobs, CV libraries, any of those things really. You get a really good feel for this one. Feel for any of those. I just use this because it's quite quick and simple, easy. And yeah. Anyway, so permanent jobs for Azure engineer, 3,999. But remember what I said? Oh, and don't forget, I always put the tick in the box here for not stated on the job because in my opinion, and from my experience, what I find is that when people are actually not posting the salary on the job, it's because they're trying to determine how much a job like that pays. Also, by law, a company has to advertise a job, um, because then therefore it is seen as something fair trade, fair something. I don't know. So what I do and what I've experienced is when you apply for a job, or when you're seeing jobs here posted and the salary's not there, it's because basically HR is doing their due diligence. They're applying by the law. So yeah, I just ignore those. Anyway, 3,552 for permanent. What I can say is that some of these jobs will be very much repeatable. But if we look at where those lines are, the very popular ones start between 32 to 40,000, right? So you got 1,608 that are, how do you say, ready to go. But you got Azure Application Support Engineer, very woolly, have no idea what that means. But you got Senior Azure DevOps Platform Engineer. But let's take a look at what this actually says. So required experience, and this is what I mean, it's a lot of stuff underneath the sun. Previous technical team lead experience as senior principal Azure engineer. So to me, what that's telling me is that they're expecting you to lead the team, and fill in for when the manager needs somebody who's setting an example of best practices, all those kind of things. Full end-to-end Azure DevOps project lifecycle delivery, strong client engagement, stakeholder management skills. Yeah, talking to management stuff. Experience with DevOps lifecycle plan, code, build, test, package, deploy, operate, monitor. Yeah, someone who's got senior or very well experienced will have gone through those kind of stages or life cycles, as it says. I've probably got up to tests, package deploy, yeah, I've done deploy, monitor. That's like site reliability engineering as well. There's a whole host of things. Working at Agile DevOps team, that's a given. Support Azure platform, building line, low level designs. Oh my gosh. See? So you gotta do your day job, you gotta know how to code, and then you need to know how to do designs. Create valid pipelines, yeah, Power BI, machine learning models, etc. Using Agile, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Everything underneath the sun. Well, this is the thing that really annoys me is that infrastructure as code technologies such as Terraform, CloudFormation, ARM, Pulumi. Well, sounds like an organization that can't make its mind up. But I think basically what it is that if you know any of these codes, they're more than happy to interview you to see, do you have the understanding of the code and where thing codes is and the whole purpose of infrastructure as code. Yeah, Terraform is given. HashiCorp Suite. Yep, all good stuff. And then containerization using Docker, Kubernetes, OpenShift, and Helm. And then programming skills using Python, Go, Java, TypeScript. And then exposure experience to public cloud providers such as AWS, Google, and so on and so forth. So again, it's like, the technical skills, but the required experience. The required experience is where you want to look at. Technical skills is like, well, if you've got any of these, we may consider you. But these are our requirements. So when you go into a job like this, and I'm not saying this for you to be worn off or anything, just expect that you need to give more than ever before, is what I'm seeing as well. So what's causing this? Oh, let's check out. So Azure engineer, let's go for contracting. So what's causing this is just basically, I believe, is the base rate. Because the base rates are higher, that probably means that people don't have, let's say people, companies, don't have the amount of money as it did before to be able to pay someone a better day rate or better salary. And then basically what it is that that money has to be distributed to more staff and to more investments and stuff like that. Also, what's happening is that because there's more layoffs and it's really an employer's market, they've got a wider selection of candidates out there who are looking for roles, who are either being made redundant, ready to hop into something at a very low price, or people who are just, what do you say, they are burnt out. The other thing I'm seeing is that you got people who are in a role being expected to do a whole lot more, get burnt out, are willing to quit their current job, paying them a lot more money to go to something that is paying them a whole lot less for less responsibility. So, life is about living, isn't it, guys? Anyway, but yeah, uh, the contracting market, kind of interesting. There seems to be, you know, I think the demand is higher. So Azure Cloud, Azure Logic Apps, Functions, API, Service Bus, Event Hub, DevOps, Python, Java. It'd be very difficult to get any of these, but if you got two or three of those experiences, apply. That's my golden rule. Once every 3 weeks in London leads, forget it. This is the other thing. As a contractor, I shouldn't be expected to go here, there, and travel everywhere. But inside R35 now is allowing companies to treat you like an employee, but you don't get friggin' um holiday, holiday pay, sick pay. You don't get any of those things. If you don't work, you don't get paid, right? It's annoying. Anyway, is there technical support engineers or cloud, AI, KQL? I'll take that out just for the experience. Bet you anything that's Microsoft 18 plus months once you say that. And yeah, there you go. But anyway, let's look at IT Job Watch. So IT Job Watch, basically, and I'm waffling, but there's a lot of detail here for me to say, is that we can see what skills are in the plus. And 16% isn't really that high in my opinion, but hey ho. But this is the interesting point. Median daily rate year on year change is plus 45. Look, AWS certification. AWS certified cloud practitioner up by 3.18%. And then up here, AWS certified DevOps engineer. And this is for contract up by 16%. So if you want to differentiate yourself between one other contractor and yourself, if you got qualification, that sets a benchmark that you've got the training to know better, at least in the eyes of an employer. That's what they think. Uh, that's for eight. So permanent. Let's see what we can see for perm. So infrastructure engineers up by 35%. Certified developer, look at that, up by 29. Co-pipeline, certified cloud practitioner, up by 12. See, certs are coming back in play. because basically what it is that it removes you from the other people who claim they're doing it seriously or who want to be able to be considered professional, but that's how HR and all these other companies are seeing it. Okay, look at Azure. Is it the same thing? Express route is up by 40, engineer, but everything seems to be on the down here. Yeah. And then Azure certification is down by 10%. But if I look at contracting, and if I look at what's on the up, Azure certification for a contractor is up by almost 10%. So there you go. In a nutshell, that is the crux of it. So in summary, if you're looking again in cloud, very challenging at the moment. What would I do? Knuckle down, keep applying, keep going, get your qualifications, try to do some labs, try to get some experience, try to speak as though that you're an Azure, AWS, cloud engineer, whatever, and be able to go from there. Be prepared to work very hard. Be prepared to be able to learn as though that you're drinking from a fire hydrant. Be prepared to do a lot of things. Be prepared to have a lot of challenges in your job. Be prepared to work long hours. Be prepared. Anyway, let's do the dude out. I hope that's been interesting and worthwhile watching. Take care. See you on the next one.